Hi guys, I've got something special for you. A classic tactical weapon every chess player should know. Yep, the Greek gift sacrifice. But don't just throw this sacrifice on the board whenever you feel like it. You need to know the formula behind it, and your calculation has to be precise. In this video, I'll break down everything in as much detail as possible and show you exactly how to execute the Greek gift sacrifice the right way. Okay, let's rock and roll. Let's take a look at a sample game. On the board, we have the Sicilian defense, wing gambit declined. Pawn takes c, bishop recaptures, and d4 attacking the bishop. Bishop backs off. Knight jumps to f3. If knight goes to f6 right away, just fork it with the pawn. Or if white develops the other knight first, don't let these two minor pieces jump to b4 in the future. Push the pawn. Now b4 is secured. And after standard developing move, this can be followed by kingside castling. No problemo. You can do that as well. And then castle. Okay, let's say black castles kingside. Now we can start setting up the Greek gift sacrifice. Bishop has to move. And wherever the bishop decides to go, pause the video. What's your move here? This is the moment you really need to pay attention to. It's time to unleash the Greek gift sacrifice. But before you pull the trigger, there are a few things you need to check first. First of all, this is important. You already have a monster pawn controlling f6. Second, take a look at black's position. The king's knight is not sitting on its favorite square, f6, where it would normally control the critical h5 square. Because later on, your queen is going to make a sweet landing right there. Point number 3. Take a look at black's dark-squared bishop. It's not on e7. That means nobody is guarding the sensitive g5 square, where your knight is going to sit very comfortably later on. And the final point? Take a look at black's h-pawn. It hasn't been pushed to h6 yet. That's a strong signal that the Greek gift sacrifice is ready to go. And this setup can occur in all kinds of openings. As long as the required conditions are met, the Greek gift sacrifice is always on the table. That said, it shows up quite often in the French defense. Okay, no knight on f6, no bishop on e7. The h-pawn is still sitting comfortably with a big smile on its face, but not for much longer. And your pawn has the position firmly locked down. Okay, let's dance. Look at that, the king just woke up from his sweet dream. No matter where the king goes, you're winning. Players who aren't familiar with this pattern often get confused. A lot of them will try to decline the gift. But no matter how they respond, your next move stays the same. Welcome to g5, Mr. Knight. Yep, knight is protecting the bishop. But more importantly, this knight opens up the queen's line of sight. Now your queen can slide over to h5. Then bring the bishop back. Discovered check. King moves. And then queen to h7. Mate! There are a few common defenses black usually tries here. The most popular one is g6. Exactly, trying to take control of h5. Knight jumps to f5 is also a very common move. Because if your queen goes to h5, knight can jump to h6, disrupting the coordination between your bishop and queen. So just take the knight. You're up a full minor piece. And if black captures back the bishop, it's mate in 2. Check. King has only one move. Queen to h7. Good night, black king. Mate. Okay guys, got it so far? Let's continue. After knight jumps to g5, what if black doesn't respond with knight to f5, and instead attacks the knight with pawn? Just go ahead and play queen to h5. Your knight is poisoned. Bishop to g6. Discovered check. King's only move. Yes. Queen to h7 is clearly checkmate. Okay, let's get back to it. So as you can see, it's extremely difficult for black to avoid losing here. Let's look at another example. For instance, pawn to g6. Not only does it control h5, but it also gives the king an escape square. and potentially allows the rook to slide back home. Pause the video once again. What's your move here? Okay, let's play queen to f3. If black isn't careful, queen to f6 is coming next, with a mate in one threat. And if black responds with knight to f5, trying to cut off your queen's path to f6, we can simply slide the queen over to the h-file. Yep, queen to h3, followed by bishop takes pawn, a discovered check. Wherever the king goes, queen to h7 is checkmate on the light square. Or, you can go for something even crazier. Just continue with bishop takes pawn. Hey bro, that bishop is poisoned. Then the queen comes in with a check. Whether the king goes to g7 or g8, it doesn't matter. Queen to h7 is still checkmate. Let's go back. Or if the king goes to g7 here, the rook can help out by moving to h8, and there's a chance the king might escape. So don't continue with queen to h5. Just take the knight. And you can comfortably play on from this position. We're up a knight and a pawn. Because if black miscalculates and decides to take back the bishop, we can simply grab the pawn, and then queen to h7 is checkmate. But your best move here is queen to g3. The idea is very simple. The knight can jump to e6 with a discovered check, and on the very next move, black's queen comes crashing down. Okay, let's say black moves the queen out of the tactical shot. Still, knight to e6 comes with a double check. The king only has 2 squares to go to. Whichever one it chooses, let's say king to h8. Yes, go ahead and take the 3-point shot. Mate! Okay, let's go back. What if the king moves away here, trying to avoid the double check threat? Puzzle of the day. Can you find the mate in 2? Drop your answer in the comments. Thanks. Let's go back to the original setup. After we offer the gift, you've already seen what happens if your special gift gets rejected. Yep, Team Black is about to get completely wrecked. Hey buddy, what if the king simply takes the bishop? Makes no difference at all. Welcome to g5, Mr. Knight. Check. Okay. The king has 4 possible squares to move to, and the move most strong players tend to choose is king to g6. We'll save that one for last. First, let's look at black's worst move, king to h8. This is mate in 2. After queen gives check, and after king moves, queen to h7 is checkmate. A very easy checkmate. Let's go back. So once you understand and master the pattern, we're going to win these games pretty consistently. And more importantly, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the even more exciting videos coming up next. Alright, let's keep going. Or what if the run's back to its hiding spot? Still, queen to h7, threatening mate in 1. So black's only real option is rook to d8, giving king an escape square. Here, we can simply grab the pawn. After king moves, just bring queen back in with another check. We'll look at another example in a moment. Because the situation here is a little different. Black still has the pawn on d7. It hasn't moved, and it hasn't been traded off yet. That makes black's position a bit cramped. So we can simply continue with queen to h7, check. King has to move. Another check. Knight has to block. Keep the checks coming. King's only move. Look at this pawn. It's squeezing the life out of the king. Okay, we don't need to take this guy. Just keep giving checks. If pawn blocks the check, that's when you take the pawn, and it's clearly checkmate. Or if a knight blocks instead? Don't take the knight with the pawn. That would leave the d6 square available. Just take it with the bishop. King can't move. Pawn is forced to capture back the bishop. And then, a beautiful checkmate. So, what do you think? Are the moves and the patterns starting to make sense? Alright, let's keep going and make it even clearer. What if black responds with king to h6? The second worst move. Here you have several good options. You can play queen to d3, followed by queen to h7 for an immediate checkmate. Queen is also flexible enough to go to h3, giving check right away. Or, the easiest move of all, knight to e6, striking the pawn. Not only is the bishop delivering a long-range check, but your knight is also eyeing a big fish on d8. Black's queen is dead! Ugh! Or you can go for a sneaky move. The magic move, queen to g4. Then bring queen to h3 or h4 with check. Your choice. After the king moves away, follow up with queen to h7. Clearly, game over. So, at this point, no matter what black does, whether they push pawn to g6 or pawn to f5, still queen to h4. And then queen to h7 is checkmate. Black might as well resign. Or even if knight to f5 shows up, trying to keep an eye on h4, it doesn't matter. You can simply play queen to h3. King moves, then queen to h7. Still, checkmate. Not only is the queen beautiful, she's got some pretty smooth dance moves too. And top move here is rook to h8. Nope, don't continue with queen to h4. Because after king moves, your queen will have to immediately deal with the rook's threat. So this line is not recommended. Just take the pawn. Check. At the same time, black's queen is starting to look a little nervous. King steps back, we take the pawn, and it's checkmate. Or, even if pawn blocks the check, just smash the pawn. After the king moves, come on, that's clearly checkmate. Okay, let's move on. Now let's look at black's best defense, king to g6. Still, you're winning. Push the key pawn. Your plan is simple. Advance the pawn with check. And don't worry, your pawn is fully supported by both the rook and the queen. And there are two moves Stockfish likes here, or rather, the two moves it considers best, f6 and f5. But honestly, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. Wherever that pawn goes, you're still doing just fine. Let's say pawn to f6, chasing knight away. Just stick to the plan. Go after the king. If king goes to f5, it's an easy checkmate with queen. Or even with the pawn. Definitely the more painful way to go. If king goes to h6, your knight comes hopping in with confidence. Discovered check. And black's queen falls. Let's look at the other move. Pawn to f5. Still a check. King moves. Knight takes pawn. Bishop comes in with an immediate check. Black's queen is dead. Enjoy the game. You win! Okay guys, I'm pretty sure you've got a solid understanding of it by now. Let's go through one more example. This time from the French defense, classical variation with knight to d7. Knight jumps to its favorite square. Bishop pins the knight. Bishop develops. And black castles kingside. Take a look, bro! All the conditions are already in place. You've got a strong pawn on e5. There's no black knight on f6. No bishop on e7. The h-pawn is still sitting comfortably on h7. Your bishop is looking very eager on d3. And your knight is ready to jump in and cause some chaos. Which means h5 is completely safe. And g5 is fully under control. Let's rock and roll! Greek gift sacrifice! After the king takes the bishop, knight jumps in with a check. King backs off, queen to h5. So the core idea is exactly the same, no matter what opening you're playing. And then, queen to h7. Checkmate. So after the rook creates an escape square for the king, and there's no pawn on d7 anymore, you don't need to continue with queen to h7 right away. Instead, let's go for the spinning top technique. Let your queen dance around like a ballerina. King's only move. Keep the checks coming. Only move. Another check. King moves. Another check. After king to e7. Queen takes h7. It's clearly checkmate. Huh! Okay guys, that's it for today's lesson. We learned how to execute the Greek gift sacrifice the right way. Just remember to pay attention to the key elements involved, especially those 4 critical factors. Hope you found it helpful. Wishing you all the best and plenty of success. See you in the next video. Thanks!